so Tony Pulis has gone in for a shower. They're naked, aren't they? Culminating in a naked headbutt.
Who from?
Yeah, from Pulis to Vic.
Pulis?
That he's on the same conveyor belt as Paul Gascoigne, Michael Owen, Wayne Rooney. Like, there's not many of them.
What is fundamentally wrong at that football club, Crouchy?
Statistically, they're the worst team in the league. With Arsenal now, you can see in there, like they're not miles better than Chelsea. Like,
Can we do some goalie talk, lads?
mental, mental.
I was like, hey man, what do you do for a living? He goes, I pick up their pants.
Brilliant. On the Fozcast today, we have got podcasting royalty, one of the OGs, the first person to have a football podcast. It is the Peter Crouch podcast. Peter Crouch, Steve Sidwell. Welcome to the show, lads.
Thank
Okay?
you so
Hey,
much.
brilliant. Been a long time, this, isn't it?
It's been a long time. We've missed a few, haven't we? We've cancelled a few, but we got there.
There's been a few emails over a few years.
Yeah. It's been a long time, isn't it, coming?
Yeah. What's the etiquette? So this obviously we're on your set here, and Gary, producer, just said, "You're going to sit in the big man chair." To Ben, I was like, "You can't sit in the big man chair."
I couldn't do it, Crouchy.
I think you should, like, you know what I mean? This is your
No,
your
I
vibe.
couldn't do it, mate. I'm quite happy here, mate. This is perfect for me. We'll do our bit here. You just stay as you are, most comfortable, yeah?
I've jumped in there, to be fair. He was off. He was off. He was doing a remote record somewhere glamorous in the world, and I was like, I'm going to jump in there.
The
for
big
once.
seat. Bit more padding in that as well, isn't there?
There is. Well, look at this one.
He's got a stack of books. I haven't even seen that.
The worst thing is that's my book at the top, and it's literally holding Sid's chair up.
But that's the funny thing about sets, isn't it? Like on camera, they all look $1 million. Like people come to us and go, "This is on TV. It looks amazing on YouTube," and then people come and go,
Is this it?
"Is this it? It looks a bit messy."
Really, isn't it?
And there's no etiquette here. Anything goes, mate.
All right,
Anything
sound.
goes.
Anything
All right,
goes.
we always start then with an icebreaker, okay? And the icebreaker today, as always, is if a bar fight is kicking off and you're there and you've got to pick 3 players that you've played with, 3 handy boys, yeah? You know that they're going to have your back. Who are you picking? We'll go one at a time each.
Oh, all right. Well, first name that cropped up in my head was Graham Stack. Stacky was in there.
He's been on, hasn't
Only
he?
because I've known him since we was both that high, and I've obviously seen him give a few people a clump as well. One being in Belgium. So he's in there.
Yeah, have you seen it? You seen when he was in goal
Oh,
at
yeah,
Belgium?
it's unreal.
The fans wanted just.
Do you know Stacky was my goalie coach at Watford, right?
Yeah.
And I had a few nights out with Stacky, and it got to the point where I had to, like, if we were having a night out, I had to just not invite him, right? Because he enjoys a fight. Like, if there's a bubble, if there's like a bubble of tension, right? And he's like, oh, what's going on? And like, that's it. That's him all
You know,
over
you're
it.
saying on their podcast about sniffing it.
Sniffing
Yeah.
it. Now
Stacky could smell it.
He could smell it. He'd buzz off it. He would.
Smell it.
Yeah, so he's Stacky's in there.
That's a good one.
Stacky's in there, yeah. First name springs to mind is Robert Hoof for me. Just strong, aggressive, loves confrontation and even in training, you know, like he was my mate, but he'd whack you every day, and then he'd say sorry, and then he'd whack you again. You know, just someone who just enjoys just whacking
Those
people.
big German youths, like big blockhead, Minecraft
Solid.
head.
He did have
And I don't think you could kill him.
No.
Minecraft head.
Minecraft head.
He wouldn't go down ever.
Nah. That's a good one, that, actually. I would then go with, I would say, Phil Bardsley.
Yeah, Bardo's good.
Bardo.
Is that video going about of him banging Wayne, didn't it? Rooney, yeah.
Bardo. So
Enjoys his boxing.
Yeah, loves
Yeah.
his boxing. I think his family. I think his uncle still owns the social club,
Social
in
club, yeah.
Salfords and that. And I think they buzz for ringing that bell, like for kicking out time. If anyone's not behaving, it's just like.
He's appeared on our list a few times, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
Phil
Little
Bardsley,
pocket
yeah.
rocket.
No, he's good.
Has
At
he really?
Bardo as well. Great lad.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with Steven Gerrard. I think again someone that would just diffuse a situation, but just a solid backup.
The brains
to
of
have.
it all.
Yeah, kind of. I'll have him in my little team as well. Yeah,
I've seen the
I like
video.
it, yeah.
Mean uppercut.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I like that one. That's nice.
Yeah.
Little, just to try and diffuse it. Because they ain't always got to kick off, you know. If we
yeah,
can,
but I
like,
think
snuff
he
it
would
out
be.
before.
He'd be there as well. He'd be there.
God, this is a hard one, this, isn't it? Last one, I would say, I'm trying to throw in there, Clint Dempsey.
Yes.
You don't know me,
We've heard-
dog.
Yeah.
You don't know where I'm from, dog.
Really?
It's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Nick
the
Richards
Texan-
was saying it, weren't he? Said he was
Texan
kicking off on
bullpen.
him, yeah.
Yeah, he's obviously he's gone. We had actually a little ding dong training once. My first session, we put each other in the arse twice. And then he's give it the old, you don't know where I'm from, dog. And I was like, mate, I'm from South London. I don't give a shit. Let's go. And he was like, you'll do for me. I was like, fair play. Yeah.
I'm going to go with James Beattie. Yeah, like I was with him at Southampton. Just a big unit, right? And I think he used to swim and like he had shoulders like this. And I think, even when you shake his hand, like I think a right hook off Beats would be
Off that paw,
I think
a big paw.
I think it'd be disastrous.
Big shoulders, big chest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he turned through it. I think you'd be in big trouble.
There's a story with Tony Pulis and James
Yeah.
Beattie, isn't there? I don't even know what this real story is. I've heard all sorts of stories. I've heard an Andy Carroll story about absolutely banging somebody once. Stephen Taylor. There was something in there.
He must be in a few lists. Andy
I bet
Carroll.
you they'll be in there as well. Yeah, I bet
Yeah.
you Andy Carroll is in a few
Yeah.
lists actually, isn't he? Yeah. But yeah, there's this Tony Pulis one with James Beattie.
It's in the dressing room. It was just before I arrived, and I think Beats had organised the Christmas party in London, and I think they got pumped by Arsenal.
Yeah.
And so I think Beats has got, so Tony Pulis has gone in for a shower. They're naked, aren't they? And Beats has walked in after him. And he's obviously asked and said, I know you've said you've cancelled the Christmas party there, but like, sorry, I've organised this whole night out, and apparently this was the shout, and then it's ended up culminating in a naked headbutt.
Who from?
Yeah, from Pulis to Beats.
Pulis.
Apparently so.
He's dropped the nut on James Beattie.
I mean, that's the wives' talk. That's what's going round. That didn't come from me. That's common
That's what I
knowledge.
heard, yeah. Yeah, they arranged his Christmas do and he's pied it. He's just gone, no one's staying down. Everyone's back
In
up.
fairness, it's an horrible thing to do, isn't it? Because if you've all sorted it out, you're all going to have to shell out early doors to pre-book, prepay for everything like that, and then to let all the lads down last minute, it's not going down well, is it?
Yeah.
But that's why I've got Beats with me, right? Because he's willing to go in there, have the confrontation, but then he's also willing to accept that he might have been headbutted there and not retaliate. There's a lot of different factors there why he's in my...
He's also diplomatic.
He could have retaliated.
Oh, mate, it'd have been kind. It's composure, that.
Yeah.
Who do you reckon's been called? Who's on been appeared on the list the most times? Do you reckon? It's got. I think Neda Manu has been shouted out. Loads of times.
yeah.
And Mitrovic has been on there a few times.
Mitrovic is on there.
Yeah.
Not Dean Henderson, Darius Henderson.
Yeah.
Darius
Oh, I
Henderson.
played with Darius
Mate, he was a
Henderson at
big.
Reading.
Oh, he loved it
Yeah.
as well. One of those you
Yeah.
could smell it a mile off.
Strong, wasn't he?
Oh God, he was strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, lads, brilliant answer by the way. We've got a picture to show Crouchy here for a minute. Right,
Well,
and-
we
and
put this out last night.
We put this out last night, right, on our Instagram to ask for some questions for you both. And Jamie, the young lad here behind the camera.
You're blaming a young lad.
Well, it is Jamie, so
He
I've
is
got to
late
blame
for
him.
everything, by the
So Jamie's put this picture out, and
There's a problem with this.
there's a big problem with it because he says,
Well, show what the guys
I
think.
will do.
See what the guys
second.
think.
Actually, it's a good shout. Actually, see what the guys say about it. Yeah. Oh, it's on the story. Weren't
I got it,
There.
yeah.
There you go. Right. So just hold it. Right. Just hold it so it don't pass. Yeah. What's that picture depicting? Crouchy?
Well, it looks like I don't know whether have I kind of flicked the ball over you or is it basically we're coming to a head. Your face,
See this picture.
by the looks of it, is
Getting a bit of your bum, all right. That's
it's arse stroke balls.
that's enough. I'm happy with
Angle.
that. Let's just leave it there. Yeah. Look, same for you, Sidders. Have a look at that.
Bit of sniffage there. You can smell it.
you can smell it.
You can smell it. Yeah.
But he's partial.
Right. So for just pure listeners out there, right, that aren't watching it, is a picture of basically a goalkeeper sliding into Peter Crouch. Peter Crouch is like towering above him and he's trying to take it on his shin and take it away from him. It's like you've just beaten the goalie to the ball. The problem is that's not me. Right?
It's not you. Oh my God, that's not you.
No one in the comments has picked up on it. Nobody's
way.
picked up on it.
The problem is it's not me.
So I thought at first, is that? Do I have to guess who this is?
You can do. I'll tell you in a minute. It's absolutely fine.
It's not you.
No, see if Sidders knows. See if Sidders knows.
Oh, it's gone. It's not Jack Butland, is it? No.
Oh, who is that?
In this world of AI, you just never know anymore.
No, it's true. It's true.
Don't know.
So That's Boaz Myhill.
Is it really?
No way.
So that's Boaz Myhill, right?
What a guy.
What a guy. What a guy, by the
Great
way.
guy.
Absolute legend. So that's Boaz Myhill. But funnily enough, in that game there, right? So I didn't know he'd put this picture out. It's not me. He didn't know it's not me either.
So you put it up, thinking it was him.
On Getty Images, it came up with.
Amazing.
So anyway, right, that game there, so one of the questions we had was, what do you remember from this match? But that game there was the one where I've come out for a high ball in the box against Stoke, against you, and I've landed down on my knee and my knee's popped, ACL gone. And it was that game there where Boaz had to come on and play the remainder of the game for it. There you go.
No way.
Yeah.
Was that at Stoke?
No, it was at Baggies, it was.
Was it?
Yeah, it was at Baggies. Horrible. Trying to come out, trying to punch one off his head.
Yeah.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, long way to go from there down.
Do you know, when keepers come out, it's a free reign. Like you could come out with the knee, the elbow. Like you could get away with
It's a
like
freebie,
clocking someone. And it's
If
a
you're
free
clever
hit.
about it, it's a freebie.
It's
As
a
long as you
free
get the
hit.
ball first, you can sort of like fall down on people, elbow clamp. Do you know what I mean? All that. It is nice at the time.
Was it Lee West? Who was West? Who was the keeper at Sheffield Wednesday?
Kieran Westwood.
Kieran Westwood. He done my knee once.
Did
He
What,
come
by
out,
landing
he come
down
out
on it
and
all?
done that one up in the air. He's come out and he's give it that one and like right on the side.
Joe was a naughty little player, little striker that would do that to you whenever he could. Luis Suarez. Leave a bit on. I would always leave a bit on. I remember watching him do it down Jonas Olsen's calf once. Just scraping it down, but looking at him doing it as well. And I thought, you're horrible, you are. What a player, though, mate.
A little bit bitey as well.
A little bit bitey, yeah. A little bit, naughty, weren't it? Yeah.
Are you lads happy with the era that you played in? And like, obviously, it'd be nice to play today with all the dollar and that. But do you feel like you played in the right era, the prime years of the Premier League?
Yeah. I mean, I've retired just a bit, probably.
How old are you now?
43. So,
Crouchy?
45.
Yeah, 42. So we're all kind
all
of
the same age, yeah. When I retired, I see it as a bit of a blessing to go. I could, you just see the dynamics of the dressing room just changing a little bit, phones coming in and, team nights out was like sort of the numbers were just creeping down and down. And then like the game days as well, you could get away with more, especially the way that I played in terms of tackling and sort of having one, like your first one's a free hit straight away. So yeah, for me, I probably actually suited probably the decade before me as well, really. But I'm happy where that period where I was and played, and then when I finished, I thought, do you know what, I'm just seeing it turn probably for the worse.
Early 2000s, probably the peak. Not early 2000s, sort of like 4, 5, 6, and then onwards for maybe the next decade or so, about the peak of all the pomp,
Yeah, I made my debut in 99-2000 season, and retired 2018. And I think, I loved where I played. I loved it. I started in the Championship at QPR in that year 2000, and it was kind of, it was fun. There was a lot of older players, and I was introduced, it was kind of a baptism of fire, and it was probably a little bit, more unprofessional, certainly. And then I lived through the days of it being unprofessional to professional, and then the side of it being like just a global, like, amazing game with so many talented players, the best players in the world playing and coming up against them. And so for me, it was such a lovely blend. And I feel so blessed that I played in the era I did.
Yeah,
and when I retired, I was like Sids, so ready to. I didn't like what I was
I think
seeing.
as well, players were a bit more unprofessional. But on a Saturday afternoon, right, that sort of like grit and determination and fight and will to win and to just run through anything.
Yeah.
It was abundant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody had it. It was the minimum almost, wasn't it?
I used to say that used to get you at least 9, 12 points a season.
Yeah.
That sort of social side of it, where everyone's in it together, nights out, team spirit. That, like, you could look round and go, we're 1-0 down here, lads.
Yeah.
Walking back, get like the ball to the halfway and going, we're fine.
Yeah.
We're going to get back into this game. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They got my back.
Do you know what it was for me when I was coming to the end of my career? So when I was at Watford, it would have been 2020, right?
Yeah.
And like you say, you got the young lads coming through. They're all on the phones. They've all got Mercedes. They're on like $1,000 a week, $2,000 a week, but they're all driving really expensive cars and they've all got the wash bags and they're on the phone. But I could see that when we sort of were struggling, we were in a relegation fight quite often, but when we were struggling, I could see them purposely trying to rule themselves out. Purposely. Yeah. They were feigning injuries, they were making up they were ill, and I was thinking, this is just like, this goes against everything I have ever played football for, but it's happening all the time.
But you said there, Ben, about being you said maybe we were less professional then. I'm not, whether or not it was professionalism, maybe you just had a bit more fun with it, because one thing I wanted to ask you guys was, in like the modern day academies and stuff, like the learning curve you'd have gone through with cleaning boots and sweeping changing rooms. I don't understand now why that's been taken away, because surely as developmental for a player, that's so important as a player and as a personality.
Yeah, I think it certainly worked for me. I think it worked for a lot of players in that day and age. It was kind of grounding, and you got around the first team players that way, didn't you, as well? And it was like there was a hierarchy, and I think now we have definitely lost that. Whether that's good or bad, you can make your own judgment. I think education's better for them. I think they have more when they leave, so it kind of counteracts it. Yeah, they lose a lot with the hierarchy and not doing the jobs, and I think it keeps them grounded. They lose the respect,
anymore,
but for them as people, now falling out the game is a lot different to when we fell out the game. You fall out the game there, you've done 2 years for nothing. Yeah. You come out with a GMVQ in leisure and tourism, which is what. There you go. There's an era of footballers around that period who just if they want to run leisure centres, like not a problem. Yeah. But that's all you had. Right now, I think a lot of the good players now they're going to private school. It's a chance for them to be educated. They can fall out of the system and still do well for themselves. And I think that is a positive. Yeah. But a negative for some other reasons.
Yeah. I think it's all geared up to. So when I've retired, I went into coaching. So I'd done 3 years at Brighton with the 16s and 18s. So I see that cusp of scholarship and young pros. And it was all geared to, how could we make these better footballers? That was all it was. Not better sort of humans or all-rounded. There was like, is sweeping the dressing room or is cleaning boots going to make you a better football player? And it obviously isn't. Yeah. It's going to be more contact time, more stuff on the pitch. Whereas I'm sure we all are, the old school, like that all-round person.
Yeah, it rounds you more, all of it rounds you.
When you used to clean the boots at the first team, when I was at Arsenal, I was on Patrick Vieira's boots, Manny Petit and Nelson Vivas. And even like just having that little chat in the morning, like you come out, or if Bergkamp said hello to you, you'd be like, you go into the dressing room going, just spoke to the first team, buzzing. Like you was buzzing. Whereas now, as the years went past, you could just sort of see that respect level just go, people just coming straight into the first team dressing room, like taking a pair of socks out of the box, or you were like, mate, 10 years ago.
Like Crouchy said, though, the hierarchies, I think it's important in football, right? Like, 'cause you've said before, haven't you, about kind of almost about that little sense of like fear.
Yeah.
And like if they haven't got it anymore, and like even like cleaning the boots, if they're going to do your boots meticulously, they're going to do, that's a learned behaviour then. They'll do their own.
I think fear in general is a good thing for footballers. I think as men, we respond and react better to a manager who's a bit scary. Yeah? Who's got a bit about, not like horrible to you, not putting you down, not taking a piss out of you or anything like that, but you know where you stand and you know that you don't push it past there or else he is going to make a point of doing it to you. Yeah. But you probably deserve it at that point if you've done it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the only thing with that is that I think that the generation, the younger generation now is a completely different breed. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? To us. Yeah. Like I think, I'd probably react better. Like I would react a bit when someone said, fuck you, shouted at me and told me to butt my ideas up, whereas, Max Dowman, for instance, now, right, 16, 17 years of age, he comes in and he looks like he owns the place, and I think, if he was 16 and I was that 16-year-old, I would be I'd be more nervous. I would be like, give me the ball. Do you know what I mean? So you're breeding different, people have changed, people have evolved, and I think we've got to somehow get our old heads around that.
Yeah, no, you're right.
With the Max Dowman shout though, it's like no matter how he's been brought up or what, it's been the perfect recipe for him, right? For him, it's been because like I watched him in the Mansfield game in the FA Cup a few weeks ago. I'm just thinking, I couldn't even imagine it. 16 years old, just no fear. And it's lovely to watch young people like that. Because they ain't learnt fear yet, have they? It's all just natural, off the cuff, whatever. It's not the end of the world.
Give me the ball in a Champions League, you know what I mean? We'll make things happen.
Yeah,
mad.
He's a generational talent. You don't want to put pressure on him, and I know we've got to try and protect him, but I said this ages ago, didn't I? That he's on the same conveyor belt as a Paul Gascoigne, Michael Owen, or Wayne Rooney. Like, there's not many of them. Like, there's not many at all. Like, natural, just talent, ridiculous. But like that no fear side, not everyone's got that, have they? Not everyone's got that in their makeup. But to have that now, I think more than anything is like.
But a lot of young players have got it now. I think Rio and Gamoa at Liverpool. It's
give him the ball.
All of them. Yeah. I remember Trent in his first Champions League final. I can't remember how old he was. It was like I thought first touch, get your first. He's like outside of the right, like controlled it and then zinged the ball like 60 yards in the Champions
It's like they
League
don't mind
final.
making a mistake, is it, as well? Yeah.
Like they just, there's no fear. And I don't know what it is, but, the academies are breeding players now that just don't seem to have any fear. Whenever they come, they're just ready to go.
I think we're wrong, Tom.
That's a really interesting point. Like that's probably why they haven't got the play with no fear. Would you entertain it, taking him? Because obviously we saw it all those years ago with like Theo Walcott that went. Would you entertain taking him, or do you think it's just like slow your horses a little bit?
Yeah, I would take him to the like where they used to do with like
pre-camp,
Rio
and
and
then
Joe Cole.
they cut a few afterwards,
100%. That's what I would do. I just think it's a bit too soon for the minute, and I think they're trying their best to protect him. But I mean, I don't know. There's a few big games from now to the end of the season. If he comes in and like does the business, then
the thing is, if you brought him on he could change a game. And how many, that's a big deal in a World Cup.
Yeah.
To change a game to kind of last 15, 20. He could genuinely could.
Some people just like I remember playing for goalie when I was young, Steve Simonson, and he was a lovely lad, but he was half thick. Yeah. So it didn't occur to him, right?
Just half.
I hope he's not a listener.
I love Simo. But it didn't occur to him that like bad things could happen if you made a mistake. Do you know what I mean? Like he wasn't clever enough to think that far ahead, and he would just go out there and he would wear like shitty gloves with holes in them and stuff. And I was like, how could you do that? Like I'm seeing holes. Surely a finger's going to slip through, and then the ball's going to. And he was like, trying to stop the ball going in the back of the net, really.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Sometimes that naivety's
lovely,
good, isn't it?
Oh, it's lovely.
What are you thinking? Would you take him
No,
or would
no
you
chance.
protect?
I'm the same as you. Even then, I'm not even sure about doing that. I think just try and shut it down as much as you possibly can, all that noise, and just let him carry on.
It's interesting though, because there's going to be 4 or 5 players that will they even get a minute?
Nope.
When we go,
Yeah.
so you go, well, actually,
His
then,
experience, it might, it's beneficial.
yeah.
Should we do a bit of Spurs talk, lads? First of all, right, how does it get to this? Obviously, horrific season last season. Won the Europa League. It kind of glosses over it a little bit. But then to replicate it another season with some of the players that they've got, what is fundamentally wrong at that football club, Crouchy?
Yeah, I don't know. Like you say, some of the players they've got. I think all the top players are injured, right? So when I looked at the 2 teams, I did the Palace game, like you mentioned recently. Like there's not one player I'd swap from Palace's team.
Over, yeah.
Right, other than Van der Ven. Genuinely, I looked at the team. I thought, right, so we can say this is a top level. Just look at the players they've got. I don't agree. I think the best players are out.
Yeah.
And the players they've got at the moment, unfortunately, are like, and then they're suffering with the lack of confidence with a manager that I think there's been a lot of mismanagement there for a long time, and they've not recruited well. They've spent a lot of money, and obviously. Ange Postecoglou talked on the podcast recently about the players that he wanted and the players they gave him, right? And I think that's not just happened. That's happened with a lot of managers. Mourinho, Conte said the same thing. Nuno. These aren't bad managers. Mourinho, they've all struggled and they've all probably not got the players that they wanted. And now it's culminated in what's happening there now. And I think statistically they're the worst team in the league at the moment at the wrong time of the season. So it could happen.
Yeah.
Do you think there's like this Spurs thing where they're not really one of the big boys, right? But they're big enough to earn a very good wage, and it's a dangerous position to be in, isn't it? Because you can sign players for 40 million quid, but they're on 150 grand a week. Yeah. And then once they sign that wage, 150 grand a week for 4 years, 5 years, do you need to really go and then push it? Do you need to try and get the move to the Chelseas, the Man U's, the Man Cities on 250? Do you? That's my thing.
I think that's exactly where they are, and that is why they haven't got the players that I don't think. If they're going to get out of it, it's going to be like just
skin of the teeth.
But I don't think they've got enough players in that dressing room that are looking around, going, "Look, come on, let's get ourselves out of this." Like, I remember being at Fulham. With the year we went down, you've been relegated as well. And I'll never forget, we was about 8 games in, and Scott Parker, who had been relegated before with West Ham, was like, lads, I can see it now creeping in. If we don't fix up, believe me, 8 games turns into 12. 12 goes into 24. Before you know it, you've got a few games before left of the season, and your back's against the wall. And where someone could see it really early, I could see it in Spurs quite earlier on. Obviously, the big names were missing. But confidence was shattered. Home form, horrendous. You're thinking, And momentum is the same as winning. When you're going and you're riding that wave, it's great. When you're going the other way, it's harder to stop. It is so
It's a
hard.
horrible feeling when you're losing week in, week out, and you just know it's coming. You're waiting for them to score first, aren't you? Or even if you do go and score, you're waiting for them to equalise, then you know you're going to lose.
Yeah.
It's written in the stars before you even get there, isn't it? It's mad.
But where they are in the league, like this is 2 years in a row, right? Obviously, you had the cup win last season, which threw the cat amongst the pigeons and started a debate. But it's no fluke that they're where they are in the league for 2 years running.
No.
And when you look at their squad, like you said, Crouchy, you look at it and go, that's where they should be.
Even 2 years of injuries, I'm like, you've got to be picking players that are durable, right?
Yeah, I don't know how the injuries have been.
2 years.
Like,
It's unheard
Kulusevski's
of.
been out for so long. Like, you know, he was their best player last year.
You haven't seen him. Bentancur, like.
Madison, you know, these are top players. You know what I mean? You can't deal with. Solanke's been out for a number of times as well. You sell Brennan Johnson, who gets you goals as well, like to a rival.
I didn't like that. I like Brennan Johnson. I think he's a good, hard-working, honest lad. And I think
He's got 22 goals.
If you ain't got them in your team,
That's
you're
what I mean,
struggling.
yeah.
You're getting rid of them ones.
You also lose Son as well, which is a hell of a lot of goals.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's a bit, and just haven't been replaced, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And are culminating in where they are now.
And then what about your old crew, Chelsea?
I know.
So that seems to be unravelling quite quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, I think Liam's done a good job when he went in there, right? And also there's been a lot of talk and scope about, look, you know, some of his interviews and post-match, pre-match and training sessions, and that is who he is. You know, he's not putting on, you know, I've played with him, I've been in dressing room with him, that is who he is. I think sometimes less is less is more sometimes, doesn't need to probably give it, especially that spotlight of when you're in Chelsea, anything you say will be scrutinised. But I think the whole project, the whole thing around Chelsea is wrong. You know, for me, that they've gone from obviously buying success and buying top players, whereas now the project is buy young, not just in Europe, around the world, grow them up. You need a top head coach that's going to improve them, whether they sell them at a profit or whether they improve them good enough to compete. They're nowhere near competing at the moment. They're nowhere near it.
Just no leaders, like we were talking about with
They need
Spurs. Just no
experience.
lack of leaders. Experience.
Yeah.
You can't win it with just the young ones anymore. You've got to have a mix, a blend of all of it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Older heads, ugly older heads sometimes. To just like say your Robert Hoofs, your big ones to just go knock through a brick wall.
Yeah. I don't think they're. Sometimes I watch them, I go, they're not far. And then I could watch them the
agree
game
with that.
after, and I go, "Oh my God, they're miles
away again."
How can you go from that to that?
Yeah.
It's like it's so weird.
But that's what you get with a lot of young lads, right? I think, you know, like you know, the best teams. Like I know with Arsenal now, you can see in there, like they're not miles better than Chelsea, like talent wise.
Consistent.
But when you look at the leaders in the Arsenal team compared to the leaders, I would say in the Chelsea team, I don't think it's chalk and cheese, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should we talk about some players that you've played with in your career, lads?
Yeah.
Favourite midfield player you played with? Your favourite midfield partner?
Oh, my favourite midfield partner. That is a good one. Danny Murphy was great. Scotty Parker was great. I'll tell you, it was a good. I played with him in centre mid a couple of times. He used to drift out on the wing, but he did play centre mid a couple of times. Moussa Dembele.
Oh, yes.
I know a lot of lads talk about him at Spurs, and he always crops up. But mate, he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He was so good, and he could have and should have got to like Real Madrid level. Like he could have been.
Why did he
epic.
not? Did he? Was he?
It was in his head.
But
for
was
me,
it, do you mean, was it like say some players love football and adore it and they give everything they've got, they give their heart and soul to it. But was he one of those who was kind of like, listen, I've done enough in my career. I'm happy with it, all right? I don't need to push myself to that next 5%.
that is exactly it. That is exactly. There'd be games where the build we could have like, I don't know, let's say we had Arsenal on the weekend, and on Thursday I could see him go, and I'd pull him, I'd go, Musha, don't give me none of that. I said, even if you give me an hour on Saturday, I said, whatever you've got, I said, stick it in a box. I said, let it come out after that. I said, but do not start pulling that now. And he'd be like, he'd be devo that I've clocked it. He'd be like, you've done me. Like at least wait till the Friday. But I can see it.
Creeping in Thursday.
Don't you dare do it.
Stretching his hamstring at lunch or
Mate,
something.
I promise you that would be it.
I've seen players
Or he'd come up in the canteen with an ice pack, like he's not even been touched. Like after training with an ice pack on his thigh, be like, no, don't you dare.
Yeah.
Don't you dare.
Sowing a seed.
Yeah.
They're sowing a seed, aren't they?
And the amount of players you've seen do that.
It's
Oh my
horrible.
God, on the Thursday, I just felt so. I think I felt something there.
Yeah.
And then they're getting the treatment, then it's a massage, then it's like, I can't play.
Have you ever played with anyone that like? I think you have with Troy. Like, but is there anyone that like will just publicly not have it and go no? Like just go. Don't start that nonsense. Like anyone that would dig them out.
Pull some, oh yeah, John Walters for
Would he, yeah?
Oh my God! I remember my first game at Stoke when I played. We played. Who did we play? It was someone at home, and we was 1-0 down at home, and come in. And obviously, I've been there pre-season. I know the lads anyway, but I've come in and he is just unloaded. So Mark Hughes was the manager. He's come in and sort of said his bit, and he's just gone, whoa, wait there. And he just got up and he's unloaded on Marko Arnautovic. And he's gone, you lazy, like it just weighed in. No, we don't do this here. Like you run back, you do the hard yards. And I was like, oh. But honestly, I didn't dig him out on purpose. Like everything he said was constructive.
Yeah.
Dug him out and was like, no, don't you do that. And don't you think about coming off? Like you stay on and you win us the game.
Hold them to account. That's what I mean. They'll do it if they can get away with it. Footballers, give them an inch, mate. Ain't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely take them on. We had one at Watford, right? I'm not going to name the player, but we always knew that when like it was real tough going, or we had a big game, if we had Man City on a Saturday or Liverpool on a Saturday, or we had just lost 3 or 4 in a row or something like that, we always used to know that on a Thursday he would pull something. So much so, right, there was one Thursday I weren't training, and I was in the physio room, and all the physios are having a team meeting, and they keep looking out, and they're like, guarantee you he will come in after training and say, can I have a rub on the hamstring? Could there's something, I don't know what it is, there's something I can't, all right, we'll forget about it, we're going to have a bit of lunch, come in, they all walking in straight away, something on my hamstring. Man City on Saturday, was it? Hamstring, Man City hamstring, unbelievable. But you can just see it coming.
There's one player I played with as well, the exact same thing. And I remember one of the other lads, I think it was Glenn Johnson, said to me, he said, have a look at the fixture list here, right? And he goes, out, in, out, right? Fucking, and I swear to you, it was exactly how he said it. The fixture list 2 months previous was, and he called it. And he went, he'll bag a couple there, get a couple there, get one there, and he'll be out for 2.
Were you guys still of the era where
It's incredible. But the thing is, that's some people's makeup. And you know what? Sometimes you got to accept it by going, if that's the way they are, they don't fancy it for the big games. But if they turn up for the other ones, then you can half take it on the chin. Not everyone's built the same, but yeah, I don't agree.
Do you know what? Quickly, just jumping on that, there are players like that, and there's a reason why them players aren't at the big clubs, because they've got this ingrained in them, right? Like Gerard Deulofeu, we had at Watford, right? On his day, genuinely, like he should be at Barcelona on his day. He still should be about. What an unbelievable player! But he's injury prone, and he would break down. So the only reason Watford can sign him is because we know we're only going to get him for half a season. Yeah, maybe a bit more, but half a season. But that half a season when we get him, oh my god! Oh my god!
player.
Unreal.
But that was like teams like Watford have a few of them, didn't they?
Yeah,
which is why they needed the Craig Cathcart and the
what I mean. That's why
yeah.
they can only sign them players though, because other teams have passed on them because they've seen this like design fault. You know what I mean? They've seen this thing ingrained in them. They're like, no, I can't rely on it. It's not durable enough.
It's really interesting, isn't it? Because like the managers for a team like Watford, they have to be quite, or the ownership, whoever it is, have to be quite strategic, and they'll pick these, I guess, mavericks or maybe slightly unreliable players, but they will have to bolster the squad with, I guess, the good lads, won't they?
For sure. Yeah.
To help pick up
because you know when the shit hits the fan, you have to rely on the good lads, and they'll put the good lads back in again, won't they?
Yeah.
But then that's team management, and you know, a lot of teams now and managers, they do a lot of due diligence. I remember when Scott Parker was manager of Fulham, and he called me about Anthony Knockaert, and he was like, "Look, we're on the verge of signing. What do you reckon? You played with him, you've seen him close up." And I was like, "Mate, brilliant. On his day, great lad, around the pitch, great lad." I said, "Bit too emotional." I said, "If you can keep a tab on it, then you're great." He was like, "I can deal with that. That's fine." Do you know what I mean? So it's good where
it's good
managers know their limits and go, I can deal with that one. If I've got the super strength or the criteria that I can harness that or rein that in, then I'll take that. Like over 30 games in the season.
Couple seasons, Anthony Knockaert was
when he was at Brighton, mate, he
was on fire, weren't he?
Unbelievable.
Crouchy, what about yourself? I know it's like famous, like it's big and small, you and Defoe, but as a player, who would have been the one that you enjoyed playing with the most?
Myself and Defoe came right through, so it was just a kind of big man, little man combination. Like, in all honesty, he was just a good player.
Yeah.
Like, combination wise, like things, used to come off me, and he'd bang it in from 30 yards, and everyone everyone go, what a combination. And I was like, that's literally hit me on the fucking ear. And he scored from 25 yards. Like, you know, he kind of made me look good. But that's because he was a top player. Yeah. Connection-wise, definitely myself and Defoe. Myself and Rafa van der Vaart, when he arrived from Real Madrid, we signed him for. But again, he was just a very, very good, intelligent footballer. Like, he knew when it was coming up to me where to be. We had a good understanding. He knew if he went wide, he knew where I'd liked it. Just a fantastic footballer.
Nothing to do with telepathy.
Do you know what?
He was just a good player.
There was, but also there was a period where I set him up for a lot of his goals. I think there was about 6 or 7, 8 goals that he scored that we linked up, and he used to say that he loved playing with me, and to be honest, I used to absolutely love playing with him. But yeah, it was probably Jermaine, Van der Vaart, and listen, you play with good. Rooney was another one that I'd obviously loved playing with, but again, it was just because he's fucking genius.
So good.
Like, you know, he dropped deep, and they'd also know how you played. Do you know what I mean? Like, they'd make runs in behind when he knew I couldn't. He'd drop deep when he knows it's coming up to me, and just intelligent players. The joy of playing with them, and they kind of make you look good. And I think those three, I would say,
talking about players who wanted to rule themselves out. One that would never, Wayne Rooney, right? The reason why he was so good, right? He was so competitive, so ridiculously, angrily competitive, and he would never want to show any kind of like, if I'm hurt, no chance, mate. I'm going to get one over you. It's horrible to play against, wouldn't it?
But that for me, that's a Scouse thing, right?
Yeah,
I swear to you, like,
I agree.
That it's the old school mentality of I'm not showing you that I'm hurt. I remember there was a couple of times with Stevie and with Wayne, and his fucking ankle's hanging off, and you could see him get up, and he's got a gash down his shin, and he's like, and you can see it's really hurt, but he's trying his fucking best not to. Whereas, you know, the mentality, I suppose, with a lot of players now is that, you know, I'm going to show you I am hurt even when I'm not.
Yeah, I'm going to fake it. I'm going to roll around.
Yeah, to Wazza, Carragher, the Root, like, you know, to Stevie, it's complete opposite. It's like, I'm going to fucking show you that you've hurt me.
That feels like it's gone out the game a little bit.
It'll be a couple still, but it's not mainstream anymore.
See, Sids was like that.
That's what I mean. He prided himself on being that guy.
He went through some tackles. You know, his shin pad's hanging off. You can see a gash down his leg, and he's carrying on like nothing's happened. Didn't you do your? I think we had a game recently, wasn't it, against the Caddies? Do you remember? I swear you'd done your hamstring. Done his meniscus. Right, but bearing in mind, we're playing the Caddies at our golf club, a football match, and I think his knees snapped, played the full 90.
Mate, you're a special breed when someone chooses to be a skinhead, we always say that. We do. We always say that.
He's not big, he's not clever, is it?
He said to me, he said, oh, I was stupid about playing through stuff. But no, it weren't. The reason why you had the career you did is because people saw that. Yeah,
a lot of managers would say. I remember once at Reading where we played Burnley. It was in Championship, and Kitson went off injured. He was concussed. I tweaked my my medial, and it was a bad one. And I've got through to half time, and then the gaffer's come in. We've made 3 subs. I'm on the treatment table next door, and I'm going to the physio. I'm like, Fern, I'll come off. I said, but it's fucking hanging off. Gaffer's coming. Sid, I need you. So I'm all right. I was like, all right, I'll play on. I just remember taping it up, mate. Couldn't even barely run, but just got through the second half. Ended up missing the next 8 games. But I think when managers see that, like that era as well, back then, they can go, Joe, what? I'll throw my hat on him.
Yeah,
when times are tough, or if you go into a tough game, we go, Joe, what? Put him in. He'll do a job. That was it. I knew my role. I knew sort of my limits and capabilities, and that's what you're right. That's what probably got
quite
me.
pride in that, mate. I like that. I really like that.
I've got a question for you. Just popped in my head, really. Both played in some mega squads. We asked Rio when he was at United if any player came into the club that elevated what was already an incredible group of players. So I guess the question is for you at a club. For both of you, is there one player that came in and just went, the level's already there, and it's just creeped up a little bit higher?
Yeah, I think the obvious one for me was Torres at Liverpool. I think, he kind of took us to a new level. I think we already had good players. You know, if you think about that midfield, we had Mascherano, Gerrard, Alonso. Like, defensively, we were probably the best. I'm not diminishing myself. I did all right at Liverpool, but I wasn't Torres. Do you know what I mean? I think being honest about it, Torres took the team to because he was so quick. He came in from minute 1, him and Stevie clicked, and it was just fucking it elevated everyone. I think training went up. Obviously, my game went up because I was like, I've got to try and compete with Fernando Torres now. You know, that was the levels. And I think that signing, I think Stevie would probably tell you, or the Liverpool team at the time would tell you that Suarez did the same thing when he came in as well. But for me, the Torres one was big. Yeah,
that's unreal. Class. Yourself?
I'd say there would have been two. One that I 100% got the feeling in the dressing room. One was when Anelka come to Chelsea. In that January window when you go, like, we're there or thereabouts, we're kicking on, we're knocking on the door. It's like us or United, and all of a sudden you get Anelka through the door and you're like, oh yeah, that's massive. That's a big one. That, I mean, obviously you got the names there as well with Sheva, Didier, like proper goal scorers, and then he just comes in and you just go, oh, like that's. Like, although we didn't go on to win anything that year, that season, you could see that about down the line, and where it just galvanised and took the levels up again. And the other one would be Berbatov at Fulham. Because obviously Fulham was very much, you know, your grit players, a few little flary, not really flary ones, but like your Damien Duff's has got a little jinky in him. But then when obviously you got a calibre of Berber that steps in, and he just like
unreal, wasn't
he was just so chilled. And again, his makeup was very much, don't need to be like come up for lunch, don't need to be with the group. I go and sit on my own, like I enjoy my own company. But mate, when he put a pair of boots on, it was like
magic,
just new level. And it was one of the ones as well where give me the ball. Anything that I'm on, like any position that I'm in, tight marked, whatever, you just give me the ball. I bet he scored a goal once. And the famous celebration, do it when he put these top over. Keep calm and give me the ball.
Yeah,
like, it was like, mate, fucking unbelievable.
What a boy.
Yeah,
United.
He
scored a goal for United. No, he set up a goal for United, one where he ran to the byline. I think it was against Blackburn. Chipped it over somebody, ran down the byline.
It was against Ginge, that was West Ham.
Unreal.
Stopped it, flicked it, didn't he? Yeah.
That one he scored for United where he took the ball like on the edge of his box and goes
little flick.
Outside of the
team goal.
Outside of the boot, out wide. Jogs into the box. Cheers.
We had Anelka at West Brom, so this is an agent Anelka. He was only there for the last half of the season. Like, sat me down in training so many times like a good boy and just rolled it into the back of the net.
He had an interesting career path then, didn't he? Because wasn't he at Bolton before?
Well, I remember
they
when
went big Real Madrid, everyone.
I was at Arsenal when he come to Arsenal, so he was only a few years above me, and I was like, obviously we was YTS, and when he come in at 19, oh wow, like you know, you said a load about like short backlift.
Yeah. Joke,
the power on that and the speed and everything, like, you're thinking, wow.
Well, with Anelka, I remember hearing about Anelka because it was under 19. I think he might have played one under 19s Premier League game, and I was similar age. And I think that someone said there's this French kid he's playing the under 19s. I think he might have played one or two games and scored like 5 goals and 4 goals. Yeah. And then when it's Anelka, and then obviously that season, you know, that's the one. You know, I think he scored 2 in the cup final or something.
Celebration.
But he never looked tired. You know, he'd run so fast. You just never seen like it, and then you'd see his mouth, and I'd be like, and he had like just didn't even move. Like he looked like he hadn't even run.
At Baggies, he had a Ferrari for every different day of the week. he just pulled in a different.
Did he really?
And then just floated into the training ground.
This might sound like a daft question. It probably is.
No.
Did he get the most out of it, Anelka?
Nah, I don't think he probably would have done, because he was so laid back and chill and calm that he probably didn't have it in him to push himself to that. Yeah. And this is the difference. Like,
but he played for.
He's blessed with everything, but if your brain don't want it or don't want to push it, right?
Every single player that's played with him has said he's better than you even think. Yeah, every player. I remember because he came on Liverpool alone, didn't he? Yeah. And they were like, we just need to sign him. And I don't know what happened. He didn't end up not staying, did he? But they said that was the one that got away, I think.
Can we do some goalie talk, lads?
Oh, yeah.
Give me your general kind of like opinion on goalkeepers as people. What are we like, the goalies?
Fucking mental. Mental. Different breed. We've done this on our pod many a time. Just a different species.
From a young age as well, isn't it? It's not as if they get to like they're just normal people and they get to sort of like academy level or like 18, 19 and they just turn into like psychos. It's just in them.
So the worst thing about them is they're in denial about it. So like, the amount of goalies we get in there all going, yeah, we're all right, we are. Like, and he's going like, yeah, it's the outfield ones. And I'm thinking, lads,
how many lads do you know that are goalies that are your mates that are like, I love him, he's great, he's a great lad? Because we're normally the good ones. Like I say, we are a little bit like kooky and stuff.
Always good lads.
Decent lads, aren't we?
I've not really met a bad one, to be fair.
Yeah,
they might be a bit kooky. You know, like, a bit mad. Like, I remember JMO just going, And look, when we were eating at the canteen in England in 2006, and he went, see that chimney over there? I'm not joking, this chimney was fucking miles away. He went, I'm going to go and draw that today. And I was like, okay, right, fair play. Thought nothing of it. Went back to my room, I played on the PlayStation or something. Obviously, I didn't go out into Germany and do anything. Came back to my room, anyway, at dinner, he went, there you go. John, he's done a lovely picture. And I'm thinking he must have travelled up 150 miles. Drawn a chimney and came back, and I went, that's a goalkeeper for you.
But I love them. I used to always, I had a sort of a bit of a connection with the goalkeepers because they're just they're on the wavelength where they're just a little bit, they push boundaries a little bit, and they're always the heartbeat as well.
Yeah, true,
always the noise, always the drive of training, like, you know, whether it's their voice or whether they're just barking orders or that. And I always just think, Joe, what? Like, they're my guys.
The little union, they're normally got a little corner in the change room. Our little union would always get sort of infiltrated by 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 others, like always wanting to be part of the little union.
Yeah.
And let me sit with you, lads. Yeah, of course.
How did you find training, like, from obviously when you first started to when you finished, right? So when we first started, we'd train, you'd train all like miles over there, you'll just get the big whistle and you'd come over for like the game, really win it, or like the little sort of 5-a-side. Then it obviously would change to a point where you doing the warm up with us. Yeah. Or you'd be out earlier.
Possession, doing the
you'll
boxes.
Be out doing the boxes. Then you'll be doing like a bit of possession, the sort of the majority of the training as well. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah. We were rubbish at it. The goalies are always the worst at possession. Yeah. Because to be fair, like, it depends what team you're in. If you're in a team of absolute players, every Premier League player is an absolute baller, right? So we put them in a possession. They could be Robert Hoof, and he's still good in possession. Yeah, he would be. It's as simple as that. So you join the goalies in, and I know that out of 30 players in our squad, me and my number 2 and number 3 are the worst footballers by a million miles. Yeah, we're not footballers. Okay, we're not. Right? So we're joining possession, and as soon as we'd walk over, you lot would go, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Oh, they come.
I used to love the banter between the keepers, though. I used to love it. Like, I remember we'd be jogging around the pitch like on a warm up, and they'd always train so far away. And I know you just say to them, like, why are you so far away from the fucking team? Just doing their own thing. What is that
and
all
also,
about?
the worst thing is, like, so we're waiting for the game. So we've trained. We're waiting for like the little mini games or 11v11 to kick off. So the gaffer or the number 2 would whistle, and all of a sudden the goalkeeper coach just give that one, like, as if to go, yep.
Couple minutes,
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be over. It's like, always make them wait on
I promise you, that's a purposely done thing as well. Yeah? Not because we don't want to be seen to like little bitches. Right? We ain't just like walking straight in. We ain't dropping everything for you lot and walking in.
Why your sessions look more important than ours?
Yeah, need us now, do you? Yeah, all right, we'll just sprint over or something. No chance. Favourite goalies you played with your career? You played with some decent goalies, you lot.
Yeah, do you know what? I was really lucky. Someone asked me the other day about goalkeepers. So I had Marcus Hanneman was really good. Stacky was like really good. Like, obviously growing up, I had Marcus Hanneman. I had obviously Czech Kudacini at Chelsea. Brad Friedel, Shea Given,
proper goalies there.
Asmir at Stoke, Jack Butland. So like good
you've seen some
calibre
very good
of
goalies.
keepers.
I think every one of them's been on the podcast.
Mate,
solid
great lads
good lads
as well.
Yeah,
really good lads. Yeah.
Really good.
Really
I'd
good
have to
lads.
say Czech was unreal. Yeah. Like, just, you know, just had that sense where if someone's through 1-on-1, he's saving it.
Yeah.
Like, in that split second, you're going, he's going to miss. He's going to be big enough for him to put it wide, or he's just going to make an unreal save and then just save it. And just that calmness as well when things start getting a little bit nervous in that back end of the season. Whenever he spoke, it was like, oh, he's just said that, so we're fine.
Yeah.
So we had that element as well.
Peter
and
knows
he's
what
a
he's
top guy
talking
as well.
about. Yeah, he's lovely.
Top guy.
Isn't
It's
he?
a Peter V for me.
Yeah, I've got some good mates, to be fair, goalkeepers. Like, right from the early days, Dave Bezant was at Portsmouth, right?
Yeah.
He was a legend. Like, what a great fella. And I watched him at Chelsea as well, so like, that Bez was incredible. Pepe Reina, one of the biggest characters in football. Like, I love him.
Lovely man, isn't he?
What a legend of a fella, and great goalkeeper as well.
His side schwaz, by the way.
Yeah,
His side
Was he one of
volley.
the first ones?
Yeah, he was one of the
introduce that
OGs.
into, like-
There was a lad remember Federici at Reading?
Yeah,
he had a side volley of dreams, I promise you. And him and Pepe, it would have been toss-up, who had the best side schwang.
Yeah, but Pepe Reina was you know what sums up Reina, right, was when, do you know when Spain won the World Cup and stuff like that, right? Played not 1 minute right, of any game. I think he was third or fourth choice. And like when you see the celebrations, you see Xavi, Iniesta, they're all round him.
Yeah. He's got the big beatbox on
He's
his
right
shoulders.
involved.
And that,
He's got the tunes. He's got the champagne, the cigar, and you like. There's a reason. It's like Scott Carson, another legend, right?
Yeah.
Scott, like he was at City for years. The reason he's at City for years, right, is because people fucking love him.
Exactly.
He's great around the place.
Yes, exactly.
You know, and yeah, he didn't play it 1 minute, but the lads love him.
Glue.
Yeah.
I don't think the general public quite appreciate this sometimes because one, they wouldn't be there if they weren't really good at their job.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
they weren't
yeah,
actually
yeah,
a good goalkeeper,
yeah, exactly,
they would not
yeah.
be there. Every Premier League good player,
Yeah.
obviously. The second thing is as well is a lot of people go, you can't just take Jordan Henderson because he's a good lad or that. You go, culture, right? The culture around, especially like a camp where you're away for 4 or 5 weeks. Like the importance of these players. You tell us the importance of these guys.
Yeah, unbelievable. That's what I mean. Like you could see it with Spain, right? They're in camp together for 5-6 weeks. He's kept everyone entertained.
Yeah.
He's kept everyone on their toes. He's like been there when they're down,
And he knows he's not playing.
And he knows
Puts
he's not
his
playing.
ego aside.
Right?
Ego right away.
And bearing in mind he's a top goalkeeper
Yeah,
as well,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
The same thing, you know, it's the same thing with Scott Carson, as I say there. And, you know, I think they're so important to teams. I think like Pepe Reina, just everyone around Liverpool, when he played for them, it's like he was an adopted Scouser, right? He kind of struggled with the English at times, but he's tried his fucking heart out with it, you know what I mean? And everyone appreciated it. And I think he was such a good character as well as a top goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's good
Current
answers.
one of them would be Steely.
Yes.
Jason Steele, mate. Like,
Exactly
so
that,
again,
yeah.
going into England fold now, and he's not just gone in just to sort of, you know, keep the camp happy. He's gone in because one, he's a very, very, very good goalkeeper, a very good goalkeeper. But also what he is around the place. I've seen it times when I go into Brighton, mate. He's good, and you know when someone's a good egg is when, especially like the number 2 or number 3 goalkeepers, when they don't really play. If someone says something, and then some people might go, "Why are you saying that? You don't even play."
Yeah.
Whereas when a goalkeeper says it, they go, "Oh, Joe, what?" And they take it on the chin. They go, "Yeah,
Fair- I'll
you're
take
right.
that.
Fair play, fair play."
Steely's like the Tom Eaton from a couple of years ago, isn't he? That guy.
Yeah.
He'll go and he'll train his socks off as well.
Yeah.
He ain't going to just sack it. Oh,
Nah.
he's training his socks
Yeah,
off, mate.
fair
His
play.
standards high.
Yeah.
You know, the other one I was going to say is J-Mo. I absolutely love J-Mo. I really do. And,
How, like, physically, probably the
Specimen.
best specimen of a goalkeeper you'll probably ever see.
yeah, without doubt, yeah.
Just scary as shit.
Just
Oh my
like
God.
I remember a couple of times, and Gomez did it a few times in training practice, and you'd whip one and it go in the corner, and you kind of turn away, and then someone would go like, "It's not gone in." Like you've already turned away, gone, "That's gone in," and he'd pull something out of the bag that you've never seen before, like top bin,
Outrageous, wasn't it?
clawed
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
Yeah,
specimen, mate. Aurelia was saying 'cause his arms were so
yeah,
long.
Gomez. Yeah.
Well, I've got a couple of questions from Instagram. Average Portsmouth runner. Get Peter to mention the Kitman story from his Pompey days. He hasn't told anyone.
I don't even know what this is.
Oh, Kev. Yeah, Kev's a
Kitman
legend.
Kev.
Big Kev, the Kitman. He's been there years. You know the old Kitman
Yeah,
have been
yeah.
there years. Used to be a boxer, actually.
Mate, heartbeat of the football club.
Yeah.
Heartbeat,
Legend.
aren't they?
Yeah.
We had his own little room, like where the lads used to go in. He used to turn the light off, and we'd all just try and punch him because he was an old boxer, big unit. But he turned the light off, right, and just he said, "Come on, then." So there'd be 4 or 5 of us in there trying to whack him, and he's like just kicking, taking people out. And like legend, like big unit. And I bought a flat in Port Solent, and I obviously being single, didn't have a clue what I was doing. Bought a big sofa, but bearing in mind I'm in a flat on the marina, you couldn't fit it through the front door at all. So I've rang the food I speak to, Kev, the kit man. Right, I said, Kev, like, what? How do I get this thing in? He said, I'll do it for you. He said, come down. I'm not joking, right? He's put a ladder on the balcony, and he's put a rope over this thing, and he's wrapped this rope round this sofa. He's put this 3-piece couch on his head, right? I swear to you, and he's climbed up this ladder and he threw it over the balcony. He said, "There you fucking go." Like, oh, well. Big Kev.
Why is it about Kitman,
legend.
What a legend.
Yeah.
Why is it about
you're buzzing
Kitman?
for him. Yeah, you want him to do well as
Don't
well,
you?
like the kid.
Yeah,
man.
you
We had
do.
one at Fulham, Danny Young, and the few lads were going to go to Vegas back into the season, and we said to him, we said, like, "You're going to come with us." And he was a bit big at the time, so he was like, "Listen, you need to lose some timber though." So he was like, every kilogram you lose, we're going to give you 200 quid.
Oh,
There's
that's
5 of us, right, that was in this school. Mate, he lost about 11 kg. mate, I swear, every morning we was in, he would have been in an hour on the machine, like black bin bag, sweating out. Honestly, he'd come Vegas, he looked like that. Never forget, he wore like a Hugh Hefner shooting jacket, like suede sort of thing. Bowling through the club, like it was partying through the club. People were going like, "Who's this fella?" Like, like when you're walking behind, you're thinking, you can see people going, "Who's this fella?" Someone tapped him on the shoulder. I think he's going to say like a record producer. I was like, "Hey man, what do you do for a living?" He goes, "I pick up their pants." Brilliant. It's so good. They're great. Love the kit men.
Yeah, shout out the kit men. They're so good.
Right, Walt Stozer says, why on earth did Sidwell wear number 9 at Chelsea?
Oh yeah, yes. Do you know what? It was, I think looking back on it, I've said this before, I think it was more of a case of like Jose sort of giving a bit of a fingers up to the board upstairs. I think he wanted to sign a striker. There weren't the funds. And then we sort of signed, and when you sign for a club, you look at the numbers, you look at players that have gone out, and you're thinking, no, like I could take that number, I'll take that one. 14 was free, 9 was free. I think that was about it. Otherwise, it was like 38. And I'll bear in mind, I would have wore any number. And I remember the first day, the kit man's pulled me on the way to LA, and he's going, "You got the number 9 shirt?" And I was like, "What? Number 9?" And he was like, "Yeah." He goes, "It's already printed up like in the skip downstairs." So got on the bus, and Jose went. First thing, like one of the first things he said to me on the first day of pre-season, he was like, "You got the number 9 shirt." As I was getting on the bus, and I, straight away I'm thinking, "This is mind games from Jose." So I was like, "All right, that's fine, no problem." So I didn't say, "No, I don't want the number 9 shirt." And next thing I know, I've got the 9 dog, mate. So I've called my mates who are all like Chelsea fans. I've only got the 9 dog, like the 9 shirt. They're cracking up on the phone. They're like, "Yeah, Chelsea's number 9." Did
like
you
call
ridiculous.
it the 9 dog then?
9 dog, yeah. I was like,
I've only got the 9 dog, haven't I?
So I think it was one of the mind game ones from Jose, like upstairs, really. But then again, like he knew like my family was all like Chelsea and that, and he might have just gone, "Joe, what? Give him like the number 9 shirt as well." So.
How did you find him? Who did we have on recently? And as a casual fan, it really surprised me. They said Jose was in the changing room with the lads,
Eric Dyer.
sitting.
Eric
Dyer.
The lads love him.
He was one of the
He's
lads.
brilliant with me. And I know I didn't work with him, but like I've been around him. Like, what a great person.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
I don't know what you found.
He was brilliant, like day to day. And again, that was when he was at Chelsea, when he was at his like peak prime. But one of the best things he ever done, and he done it. I've never seen no one do it before or after. So it was half-term week, kids are off school. So we're training, I think it was like a build-up game for Villa on the Saturday. So it's Wednesday, we finished training, and he's gone, "Right, lads, training tomorrow." He said, "I know the kids are all off school, give the wives and girlfriends a little break." He said, "Bring your kids into training tomorrow."
That's nice, yeah.
So he said, "Everyone bring their kids in. Dad, how many you got? Bring your kids in." He said, "If you haven't got any kids, go and find some kids." He said, "Just bring them in." All right. So I'm like, "Fucking hell, wow." Go home, said to the missus, "I can take like Harry and Rocco into training tomorrow." She's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." So I swear, next day we're training. We're on this pitch, proper tactical sessions. The pitch next door, I swear there's about 200 kids on this pitch. Balls flying everywhere. Like the kit men's out there with them, like just feeding the balls. After, they come over, pictures. Like it's a really, really good day, an open day. Go home, kids are buzzing. Mrs. obviously had a little break and that, and he was like, he knew what he was doing just to keep the families and the wives on par of it as well. So little things like that was just brilliant.
Nice. That
little things I've seen just a bit around him, like asking you about certain things. He knows about you, he knows about your family,
Personal
little things
touch.
things like that he doesn't have to do, you know what I mean? And just to go like, what, that's amazing, that's so lovely. And I think it's very similar to in being around the clubs. If you ask the people around it, like I asked the kit man at Spurs, for instance, things like that, he's like, some of the managers that you think are going to be brilliant with him don't say a word to the people like the kit man.
Yeah.
And then Mourinho, who you think might be a bit spiky around the place, exact opposite. Knows everyone's name, has the family, knows the kids' names.
It like family, makes it
little things
family.
like that. Honestly, I just think whatever you think of him, as a fan, because he can divide opinion. As a person, I've always found him top class.
Very quickly, recently retired Premier League players. What bit of advice would you give them? Just a little nugget of information each.
Oh gosh. You got to find something. Find something. You'll play golf. You'll rinse it for 6 months, right? And then you'll get a little bit bored because it's great getting your handicap down, but you got to find something, haven't you, lads? You got to find
Structure.
something to sort of like get you out of bed, like commentary, punditry, or do a bit of media, whatever it is. You've got to find something in your voice.
I think do it while you're still playing. You like dip your toe into something, whatever that is, while you're still playing. Hopefully, you might have businesses outside of football, but start them while you're playing. I've just saw that Hinshelwood recently. He's 20 years old.
Yeah, Jack,
he's just done his B license. 20 years old,
Really?
right? I think like he's already planning, right?
Yeah,
Which, the kid's just making it in the game. He's already thinking about long term, and I think that's the advice that I would give.
Yeah, when we was coming through, it was frowned upon if you thought of anything other than football. Whereas I think that new crop now is acceptable to be like, Joe, what this business venture or this, and it's documented as well because you can't keep nothing secret now. But yeah, I would say just a structure. That would like as long as you can get up and you've got something to do every day. At the start of it, it's nice to just down tools and go. I can relax and just enjoy a little bit of. But then, just start finding a bit of rhythm because you need that.
I remember Steve Stone saying to me, I was at Villa with him, and I think he retired and became Newcastle coach. And he said, I went from the minute I retired from being Steve Stone, England footballer, to Steve Stone, like assistant reserve team coach. Like all the kids had no idea what I'd achieved before, and I'm now like kind of half mugging me off. You're like, Steve Stone, he's fucking he's a top player. Do you know what I mean? You just all of a sudden you kind of don't have that kind of aura again, And if you're not keeping yourself, people understanding where you played or something like that, then the kids these days, I mean, after kids that are playing now, I look at that Rio Ngamoa the other day. I think he was born in 2008. I was half retired by then. So you got no fucking clue.
2008 was it?
2008 he was born.
Same age as my daughter.
So I'm like, he's never watched us play. So I'm going, I'm bowling round, going, ex-Liverpool player, and then the player I might be interviewing probably just thinks I'm an interviewer.
Yeah, you're a podcast
Doesn't think
host.
that.
He
doesn't think I even played the game.
Mad, isn't it?
Mad.
So that's what I'm saying. It's just so quickly forgotten. Is what I'm trying to say.
Just quickly before we move on, what you said, you mentioned earlier about your coaching. You went into Brighton when you left football.
Yeah.
Why didn't you carry on with the coaching? Why didn't you want to do that?
So I was doing that and the TV punditry stuff, and I think at the time with when I was doing the coaching, and you speak to Stevie and Frank and Scott Parker's, they're like, listen, when you're in, buckle up because it is one ride where you just can't park your family life. And I think where the kids were a bit younger, I wanted to listen. As much as we have time off, we do miss a lot. Yeah. You miss birthdays, Christmases. Like you miss a lot of stuff. And I was like, I'd like to be there for them. Watch them play football on the weekend. Take them to training midweek. Now they're older. I've got an urge to. I've got my badges. They're all done to maybe dip back in. But at the time, the media sort of role fitted the lifestyle as well. Yeah. So that was it. Yeah.
We did our badges together. It was fucking it was an experience.
You two would be dream. I'd love having you
Harry
two as coaches. It'd be the dream.
It was comical, wasn't it?
It was brilliant.
It was brilliant.
It was good fun.
We done our B. I went back for my A. You went, nah, stop.
I knew it wasn't for me.
Me would did enough, yeah.
Right, some quick fires. Right. Who is the loosest of loose cannons you've played with? I'm just going to leave it broad like that. So interpret it as you will.
Stacky would definitely 100% be up there. I didn't play with him, but I was close with him and been out with loads. Jimmy Bullard would be up there as well. And them two combined.
Jimmy. Marko Arnautovic was up there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, in a good way. I loved him.
Yeah.
I actually really, I got on really well with him. He could rub people up the wrong way because he's just having himself so much, but
harmless with it.
I liked him a lot. I got on well with him.
He was good.
Most underappreciated player that you ever play with. You don't quite feel like they got the credit they deserved. Yeah.
Steve Finnan at Liverpool probably was right up there. I think he was a top fullback, one of the best in the Premier League for a long time. I thought. Highly underrated, I would say. You can't say the players are underrated. Like he was underrated maybe at Tottenham at the time. That was Modric, but he's won the Ballon d'Or, so he's not that underrated now. But I think when we played with him, he was kind of underrated.
Steve Finnan came up in our quiz the other day, didn't he? I think he was the only player to play in all four of the English Pro Leagues, Champions League,
he's won
FA Cup,
each division, League Two, League One, Premier League.
He's won it all.
and Champions League.
That's a progression of the question you asked.
So league. I think it's League 2, League 1, Championship,
Prem,
Champions
Champions League.
League.
I remember watching. I see that clip with who pulled it out of the bag. Did you put? You put?
Yeah,
you
out
pulled
of
it.
nowhere.
Out of nowhere, right?
I don't know where that came from.
You might have heard this question, but this is the question of all questions. But I don't know if you might have heard it.
We probably will have done.
I used proper statos. So he's lost a League Cup final, an FA Cup final, and a Champions League final with 3 different teams. And don't quote me on it, but I don't think he's won any of them.
Oh, so he's lost a league and FA Cup.
He's lost a League, FA Cup, and a Champions League final with 3 different teams.
An unreal question.
I did 5 days in France with this question.
Didn't speak to the missus once.
She by the end she was guessing. She was going, is it Adebayor? So me and the 3 lads were on a couple's holiday. There's 3 lads just sitting there, a beautiful view overlooking the beautiful scenery, just going like, oh, is it Robbie Keane? Just coming up with mad, random Premier League.
We're going to throw that one to the audience. Then
give that to the audience, right?
In the comments down below.
I've got to say that's a week-long question.
That's a very good one.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what we want, Jay. That's a caliber. That's the caliber we want, Jay. Yeah.
Have you got any more, Benny Boy?
No, that was world class, lads. Thank you so much for today. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
We've done the Pete Crouch podcast before this as well. That episode will be out on yours probably now around the same time, but it's coming either way. Belting, absolutely belting.
Yeah,
Thank you
good
very
day.
much.
Cheers, guys.
Well done, boys. Cheers, lads.
Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of the Fozcast. Don't forget to give us a follow on Spotify. Up the Fozcast.